Today we look at one of the most infamous and disturbing chapters in American criminal history, the Manson Family Murders. Hey guys, welcome back to another cool episode of True Crime Chronicles. In this video we delve into the dark depths of the Manson family and the brutal attacks that shook Los Angeles to its core. Charles Manson led a murderous campaign with his followers, the Manson family cult, that made him one of the most notorious criminals in history. The group's killing spree included the notoriously brutal murders of pregnant actress Sharon Tate and other Hollywood residents. For these crimes, Manson received the death penalty in 1971, which was commuted to prison the following year. In total, he is believed to be responsible for around 35 murders. Manson died in prison of natural causes in 2017, shortly after his 83rd birthday. The Manson family murders remain one of the most chilling and infamous crime cases in American history. Led by the charismatic but deranged Charles Manson, the cult orchestrated a series of heinous crimes that shocked the nation and left an indelible mark on the counterculture movement in the 1960s. The gruesome murders, including those of actress Sharon Tate, caught the world's attention, revealing the terrifying potential of manipulation, madness, and unchecked violence. Take a seat because this story is not for the faint of heart. Charles Manson was born Charles Miles Maddox on November 12, 1934 in Cincinnati to Kathleen Maddox, a 16-year-old alcoholic and prostitute. Kathleen later married William Manson, but the marriage soon ended and Charles was admitted to an all-boys school at the age of 12. Rejected in his attempts to return to his mother, Charles soon found himself living on the street and getting away with petty crime. Still a teenager, Manson began serving time in prison in 1951. At first, before he discovered the benefits of being a model prisoner, he was considered dangerous. He would eventually spend half of his first 32 years of life behind bars. When he wasn't in prison, he also attended reform schools. Probation reports described Manson as in considerable denial, instability and trauma, and constantly striving for status and securing some form of love. Other descriptions included unpredictable and safe only under supervision. His various offenses include pimping and passing stolen checks, and in 1961 he was sent to Washington State's McNeil Island prison for 10 years. Manson learned to read music and play the guitar while he was in prison. On March 21, 1967, he was released from prison and moved to San Francisco. The family was a group of about 100 followers of Manson who lived an unorthodox lifestyle and habitually used hallucinogenic drugs such as LSD and magic mushrooms. The Manson family eventually moved from San Francisco to a deserted ranch in the San Fernando Valley. Manson's followers also included a small, hardcore unit of attractive young women. They began to believe Manson's claims that he was Jesus and his predictions of a race war without question. Charles Manson, a failed musician, an ex-convict, formed a cult known as the Manson family in the late 1960s. Through his manipulative and charismatic persona, Manson attracted a following attracted by his teachings, which combined elements of science, pseudo-spirituality, and apocalyptic philosophy. Manson's ability to control his followers helped create a distorted reality in which he played the role of a messianic figure. In the summer of 1969, Manson ordered his followers to commit a series of murders intending to spark a race war he called Helter, Skelter. On August 8, 1969, Manson's henchmen invaded the home of actress Sharon Tate, who was 8 months pregnant at the time. Tate and 4 others, Jay Sebring, Abigail Folger, Wojciech Frykowski, and Stephen Parent, were mercilessly stabbed and shot to death. The next night, Manson's followers murdered Leno and Rosemary LaBianca in their home. The shocking nature of the Manson family murders attracted intense media attention, and the trial became a national spectacle. During the trial, Manson's erratic behavior, including carving an X on his forehead, which he later turned into a swastika, further added to the sinister atmosphere surrounding the case. Manson and several of his followers were eventually convicted of first-degree murder, even though Manson was not at the crime scene. The Manson family murders marked a dark turning point in American society, shattering the utopian dreams of the counterculture movement of the 1960s. It exposed the underbelly of the era's free love, drugs, and communal lifestyles, revealing the potential for manipulation and violence in seemingly idiosyncratic communities. The Manson case also underscored the dangers of charismatic leaders exploiting vulnerable people, highlighting the need for vigilance and critical thinking. Manson died of natural causes on November 19, 2017. The 83-year-old has spent more than 46 years in prison for crimes. A few days ago, Manson was admitted to a hospital in Bakersfield, California. No information about his health or his location has been released for privacy and security reasons. The longtime inmate was also hospitalized earlier in the year. About 4 months after Manson's death, California's Kern County Superior Court tried to decide who had the right to claim the infamous cult leader's body. 4 people volunteered, including 2 who claimed to be his son, 1 who pretended to be his grandson, and a 4th who said he was a longtime pen pal. The matter was further complicated by the presentation of competing wills. In March 2018, a court awarded Manson's remains to his grandson, Jason Freeman, the only child of Charles Manson Jr. of Bradenton, Florida. Freeman told a local news station that he planned to have his grandfather's remains cremated and dispersed in an urn, undisclosed location. The trial that followed was a media sensation. Manson's strange behavior in court, combined with the shocking details of the murders, captivated the nation. The trial marked the end of the counterculture era of the 1960s and left a scar in America's collective psyche. Manson and some of his followers were convicted and sentenced to life in prison, while others had their death sentences commuted to life. The Manson family murders left an indelible mark on American culture, a cautionary tale about the dangers of charismatic manipulation and the potential for extreme violence. As we close this chapter on the Manson family murders, let's remember the victims who tragically lost their lives. This dark period in history is a stark reminder that even in the face of such dire circumstances, we must remain vigilant against those who seek to exploit and harm others. Join us next time for another exciting episode of True Crime Chronicles. Stay safe out there.